First, we're going to tell you what drove the markets today with today's data download. All three indices ending solidly in the green. The S&P 500 breaking a five-session losing streak. Technology and energy were the top performers, while utilities did lag a bit. Today was the biggest bounce for stocks since September 13th, the day the Fed announced its money printing program. Well, U.S. weekly jobless claims fell to its lowest level in 2 months last week. First-time claims dropped 26,000 to 359,000. The prior week's figure was revised up, which very often happens, to show 3,000 more applications than previously reported. Manufacturing orders for long-lasting durable goods plummeting in August, posting its worst drop in 3.5 years. The durable goods orders fell more than 13%. The decrease in demand was led by aircraft orders that fell more than 100%. Now, covering all of these issues, we have Larry Schober in the pits of the CME, Tim Strazzini telling us why this market is overextended, and Brian Jones breaking down the most important economic data point you have to watch. He'll tell you what that is coming over. But let's start with Larry Schober on the bad economic news. Larry, we had terrible durable goods orders. It hasn't been this bad in about 3 years. And then we had the GDP slowdown continuing. Originally, 1.7% is bad enough for a GDP, a recovery GDP, but 1.3% is what it was revised downward to. Why the market pop and the bad economic news?
You know, as we try to reconcile the world, we just have to keep in mind nobody cares about the eco news, really. It all started with the bad PMIs last week and the numbers you talked about right now. All eyes right now are on Europe. And the things they've done are genuinely significant. But the question is, are they at the beginning or at the end? And I think they're at the beginning. And so beyond that, when you look at the bad numbers, when you have GDP and revised GDP, home sales, et cetera, being bad, nobody seems to care right now. All eyes are on Europe.
All right. Well, some eyes are on China as well, and we'll talk about our economy too. But China getting a big bump. We showed the Shanghai index up 2% as a result of plans that they have to stimulate the economy. Again, I put stimulate in quotes because who knows whether it will work, but at least a momentary pop for China.
Yeah, you know, they're joining the party. I mean, and that's why I think we're having this risk-on rally that we're seeing right now. After the stock market's been down 5 days in a row, we get this bump on China up 2.5% in the Shanghai index. We can't underestimate the short-term tailwind that intervention's going to have, whatever they have, economic expansion, especially on commodity prices. So I think that's part of the reason we had the significant rally today.
Larry, are you at all wary of these market pops based on funny money? I mean, basically, that's what it is.
I'm very wary. I'm suspicious and everything that you could think of. I'm very suspicious. However, I don't think coast is clear investing ever makes sense. Preparing for Armageddon never makes sense. I would just say to people, stay diversified, meaningfully diversified, and stay a little bit underweight equities, because this will turn someday. But as you well know, trends last a lot longer than you and I can stay solvent.
Oh, they do. Larry, stay with us and keep the sound on in the pits there for Larry, because I want to hear if there's any action. We're going to pop right back to him. Well, Larry Schober, what I'm afraid of and what I hear a lot of people express their fears of is an October surprise. That is some kind of pop downward in October, some big pop like we've had before, 1987, et cetera. Is anybody down there expecting those?
Yeah, they are. And keep this in mind, something happened today that was profoundly different than what we've seen in the past. We've seen a meaningful rotation out of utilities, out of consumer staples, into financials, into energy, into technology. That's scary. That means people are really starting to chase the tape, trying to get beta. Is this the beginning of the end of an October debacle, or is it the start of something new? That's the argument that's going on the floor right now.
Brian, what